Arbuda 4, a rough colony on the edge of human-controlled space. A retirement home for Soulforce veterans from all branches of service. But peace is not their fate. A deadly plague breaks out, ravaging the few established cities of Arbuda 4 and turning its population to twisted, horrible ghouls. There is no cure in human science. The last desperate hope is a rumor of an ancient alien facility built by the Sulka and hidden high in the savage Feldspar Mountains. If the pit is there, and if you can survive exploring it, you might find the source of this plague and have a chance at finding a cure. Maybe it's real. Maybe it's just another tall tale they tell on the rim of known space. You can't be sure of anything. Except the fact that every expedition into those mountains has failed to return. And nothing creates death better than the Sulka. Welcome to Sword of the Stars, the Pit. Sword of the Stars, as maybe you're aware, is a series of 4X turn-based strategy games centered in a sci-fi universe created by the creators especially for the game. Now, I won't start talking about how Sword of the Stars 2 became apparently the greatest failure ever. I haven't bought it. But for some reason they started, in their off time or whatever, to make The Pit, which happens to be a true-blooded roguelike game. It's... Now, true-blooded doesn't mean it's actually that it has ASCII graphics. This one doesn't, no. It's actually sort of 8-bit, 16-bit retro-style graphics, but still graphics. No ASCII to be found. But the game itself plays very much like ADOM in ways that I think is best demonstrated rather than explained in the title screen. So I'm guessing you're itching to have me press the start button by now. Now, I've played this game precisely once, but I got pretty far in it. I spent 7 hours on an easy mode, getting all the way down to floor 727 of 30, and then getting horribly killed. For my second playthrough ever, I've decided not just to record it, as is evident by now, but to challenge myself and confident that I will bring my A game into the highest difficulty I feel myself capable of, which is naturally, yeah, normal difficulty. Anyway, in Sword of the Stars doesn't have 20 classes. Sword of the Stars has 3. They differ, at least they differ in a lot of ways, not just looks, and not just a couple of starting stats. They also differ very much in equipment and skill sets, and in the way apparently they attain skill sets. They also have unique backstories. This guy apparently is married to some girl, and she's somewhere abducted, somewhere in the facility. He's also dumb and strong. This lady here is the sister of the girl that was abducted, so she's the sister-in-law of the Marine. Her skills are, as you can see, in the finesse department, which is the equivalent of dexterity in this game, which means she is good with skills, whereas the Marine is good with weapons, and the engineer is good with gadgets and using his brains to manipulate his surroundings, including all the various alien devices found within the compound. The compound that is known as the Pit, as you might remember. As you can see, there is a lot of starting equipment going on here, and the game is very much focused on equipment and managing equipment to resource management to survive the pit as it goes on. As you can see, the engineer starts with very basic weaponry, a knife and pistol, and a whole bucket load of electronic toolkit, digital assistance, little tiny tech gadgets that help him survive the early game. So should help him survive the early game and give him an edge in handling all kinds of other gadgets down below. The scout has a little bit better knife, a little bit better pistol, but And otherwise, well, she's also a little bit more fruit. And she's also pretty good at a lot of skills. Just not exactly in the brains department, even though she isn't half bad in that either. A high finesse means she will rarely miss, but a low might means she will not exactly do a lot of damage and will have trouble handling the heavier equipment. Whereas the Marine has absolutely no trouble handling the heavier equipment, but is going to have trouble using the somewhat, well, not fighting related skills. Now, for my first game, I actually played a scout, and I think actually that a scout probably suits me very well. I haven't tried either of the other two just yet, and I'm don't actually know right now who I'm gonna pick. I've got either the engineer, who is yellow. I don't exactly enjoy yellow. This guy is red. I don't exactly enjoy red. He also smokes. I don't do that in real life, but it might be fun pretending that I do. I actually have no idea how to pick. It's either an engineer or a marine or a scout again, and I already did a scout. So well, alright, I think I'll go for it. I'll just pick the engineer, and because he seems to be the most equipment based and the most, I like having to look for my stuff. Also, he knows how to do computers, and that's just me. He's like me anyway. His finesse is also pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna pick myself an engineer. Well, here we go. This doesn't look that much like ADOM, I'll give you that, but it shares a lot of the qualities that you know from ADOM. As you can see, here's my guy. I just entered a pit through a ladder, which doesn't fit the opening schematic at all. That had just a big hole in the wall, or some mountain wall or something. But anyway, that's me. This, as you might already be able to tell, is one of the many creatures that inhabit the pit and that are going to be killing. Like any roguelike, this game is very much about killing enemies. And what you also can see is that parts of the dungeon are lighted and some are not lighted. The actual truth of the matter is that pretty much all parts of the dungeon are lighted, but I can't see them all. There's a line of sight in this game. As you can see, as I walk around and look around, the line of sight shifts, and I'll be able to see different parts of the level. As you can also tell, when I move, other creatures move, but while I'm standing still, they don't move. This game is actually extremely close to ADOM in that regard, in that it simulates the passage of time only when you actually do something. It works in turns, just like a true-blooded roguelike RPG. Anyway, this is a rabid bat, which I should fight. Now, I've got two choices. As you can see, I have a pistol, but I should probably start with my equipment. Take a look around. I'm wearing a jumpsuit, which is very basic types of armor. I have this pistol with 6 bullets, with 6 rounds in it, which means I can shoot it 6 times before I have to reload. I'm gonna put a bullet on slot 2, and I've got a knife, which I can put in slot 1 now. And I can switch between the bullet and the pistol and the knife at no loss of time. It's actually true for all weapons. You can always switch between your weapons at no loss of time at all. That includes grenades and stuff. And now I have to basically pick how to kill the rabid bat. I can either use the knife or the pistol. If I use a pistol, I use a pistol rounds naturally, so the more resource-saving way would be to use a knife. Except the pistol is probably more likely to kill the monster, and that's already, in a nutshell, the kind of choices you're going to have to make throughout the game. Do you spend valuable rounds of your weaponry, or do you use weaker weapons and spend some HP? While the monster is obviously more likely to hit you. I'm gonna be a badass and use a knife on this rabid bat. As you can see, I did some damage. The bat attacks me back and did some damage to me. I have a total of 40 HP, and that is much less than I'm used to, actually. I should probably be a bit more careful with this engineer and the normal difficulty, but I think I'm winning this fight. As you can tell, I killed the creature, I got some XP. That's all like you've seen in every other RPG you've known. And I used a knife. The knife doesn't use ammunition naturally, but every weapon has a limited durability, and managing your durability in order to not lose your weapons is an important part of the game as well. So, let's do some actual playing instead of always talking. As you can see here in the distance, there's a rot pile on the ground. That doesn't sound tasty, but I'm not picky. I can afford to be picky anyway, so I'm probably going to head for the rot piles and investigate them. But unfortunately, two monsters have showed up on the scene. There's a rock rat and an ice bat. This time, I'm a bit more on the ball, and I can attack them from a distance. So I'm going to shoot the pistol at the ice bat and receive a beneficial result. Excellent. With the rock rat, I'll try to use the knife again. And that was successful too. The knife got damaged again, and it seems to be losing 1 durability per kill, which is not good, but I'll have to deal with it. Now, looks like this bat dropped bone slivers, which is an item. I wonder what I'll be able to do with that. There's another rat, because I can see it from distance. I'm gonna shoot it again. And another rat. I can shoot that one too. Now, as you can see, it now displays 3-6. I used up 6 of the shots inside the pistol. There's 3 left, but at any time I can fill up ballistic weapons with reloading, and they will be full again. You really need to remember to do this after every fight, otherwise you'll get in trouble. Because reloading during battle also means your enemies get free hits at you. Anyway. I'm back at a rot pile again. Now to search a rot pile, I use my foraging skill. Everything in this game pretty much uses skills. I've succeeded and uncovered some raw meat. I also have succeeded at letting some rats sneak up on me, so I'll be able to deal with that first. Luckily, rock rats die with 1 shot of whatever weapon I use. And you kind of need to watch very closely what you do in this game, because enemies can also sneak up on you from your back. Anyway, picked up some raw meat, as you might guess. Raw meat isn't exactly very safe to eat, and I should point out that just like ADOM, this game actually simulates food satiation, the need for satiation throughout the game. And this is actually the major time constraining factor that means you cannot spend endless time exploring every nook and cranny of the pit. If you do that, you might run out of food. And sometimes you have to actually start eating less safe kinds of foods just to avoid starvation. Anyway, I'm gonna check this rot pile again out too. Success, and I uncovered a food pallet. That's even more food. Now I could check out my inventory. As you can see, here's the food pallet. Great. Recharge a pistol. Reload the pistol. Other kinds of weapons, of course, are recharged because it's a science fiction game. That means you get laser guns. You just don't start with laser guns because, well, that would be too easy, wouldn't it? Uncover the scent gland of a rock rat. That might come in useful one day. Well, isn't that excellent? I got my first level. Now, I don't know how the engineer levels. As a scout, I used to have 8 skill points and 1 stat point. Apparently, as an engineer, I get 2 stat points and 6 skill points, which isn't bad either. Now, I will level my brain skill, as well as my might. And I will use the skill... Now, the way this works with the skill points is that 2-point skills are skills I have not used since the last level up. They become harder to train. The 1-point skills are skills I have used since the last level up, which means they are easier to train. With every skill point I invest, they increase by a limited amount. Anyway, I'm gonna invest a 1 skill point in pistols, which gives me 3, and in foraging. I will not invest in knife because I don't think knife stays useful for very long. Knives are pretty much early game weapons as far as I can tell, because I haven't found a knife in the later parts of the game that was really worth using at all. So I'm not gonna do that, but instead I'm gonna focus on some of the other skills. I think my lockpick is pretty low, that should fix that. And I anticipate that I will have to use assault weapons eventually. And, well, this is a good point of time to invest in the future as any. Anyway. I actually found some Soul Force rations, which is excellent, because I didn't start with a lot of those. Oh, I started with all kinds of cat. What's this? Ah, I see. Never had one of those in the other game. Search another rot pile. That one sucked. And rot pile. This one did not suck. It had a food pellet. And search another rot pile. This one had another food pellet. Excellent. Now these are just the early weapon. Now, as you can tell, this is the early dungeons where all you see is rats. Eventually I get to other dungeons where there will be more stuff to do and see. And I'll just hurry along to get to that part faster. Now if I run over here, I get into a rather big room. There's no one here though. I think those creatures already found me as before.
Not my best day.
Not your best day indeed. You suck. And there is an ice bat. Try to kill it with a knife. Oh dear. That didn't work. Yeah, took another try. Apropos, my knife is at 1315. Okay. It will still see some use, I guess. Now, this here is something you look for in every floor. This is the floor exit. I'm not going to use it right away because I'm at a point where I should probably check out everything as much as I can, just in the off chance that there's something useful. So much for the off chance. Onwards to floor 2. Now this is the first floor where I actually start to enter the actual compound that makes up the pit. Because the rumors were true. There is an underground facility here. Otherwise this game would be rather boring. And now we can start playing around in earnest. Now there's another rats here, which I will shoot and knife. I will shank a rat. And collect their various scent glands. My backpack must reek of this stuff. Wonderful. Anyway, that's a very bit bad. I see it from very far away. And turns out my gun actually can't shoot that far away. Which is unfortunate. And now it moved out of range. Now it's in range again and I can shoot it. Excellent. Don't forget to reload. Now in the distance I can see a mutant rock rat. This one's rather more potent, but once again it's out of range. Okay, much better. Let's see. The mutant rock rat was in a room together with a freezer. I want a freezer. Pry open freezer, 61% chance of this. I'll take it. But this is rather disappointing. Excellent. What did I get? Purifier and rotten cheese. What does a purifier do? Biomechanic device capable of cleansing foods of disease, poisons, and rot. Right-click on purifier to activate. Using purifier takes energy, and so after a limited number of uses, it will have to be recharged. Charge up. Well, that is actually great. Cleansing foods of disease, poisons, and rot. Well, let's see that work. Let's see that at work. I've got a piece of rotten cheese. Yep. Crafting, 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 and I've got myself a piece of safe cheese. Excellent. This one is much more edible than before. Now, what about raw meat? Well, raw meat isn't exactly diseased, poisonous, or rotting, so probably won't work with a purifier. I need a cooker. That's actually a device you can also find in the game, a cooker for raw meat. It turns into cooked meat. Now, I don't know if you've heard that, but I heard something. Which is the telltale sound of a creature going around. You might not notice, but I can run around pretty undisturbed, but whenever I stop, That means I heard a sound or something, and the game dutifully interrupted me before I could get myself into even deeper trouble. Now, this is the sound I heard. It's bot. Now, this might not come as a surprise to you, but there actually are no non-hostile creatures. This bot is gonna attack me. I know that, and that's why I'm gonna shoot it first. Well, that didn't work. I'm gonna use that freedom, I think. Oh dear. Huh. I thought I saw something. Ah, there it is, there it is. Oh, you rabid bat. Eat knife. Ah, you suck at knife fighting. Oh great, and there's a bot again. Finally. This is the same from before, and if it is, then it got a pistol round to the face. That means I should be able to kill it with a knife. Well, that didn't work. Finally. Got some electronic parts. I'm an engineer, should be able to use some of those. Doesn't look... there's much going on. Yeah, this door is a door trap. That's some useful knowledge. There's a rat I can shoot. What's in this room? Nothing whatsoever. I'm not gonna leave it to the door trap, because I'm not that stupid. It's an ice bat. I spotted from far off away that I should be able to shoot it. Phew. Let's see what's in this big room. Huh. A locker, but this one's already devoid of content. Better that next time. As you can see, I heal over time, but I can also use certain healing items. But, like with everything else, healing items are limited in supply, so if at all possible, you should try to delay using healing items until you absolutely need them. Because at some point in the game you will run across healing base that will do it for you. Provided you have the necessary skills to activate them. Anyway, there's something useful in this room, actually. First I should check whether there's anything still going about. Okay, coast is clear. There's a stasis field that I have to remove. Now, natively, thanks to my computer skill 55, I have a 77% chance of success in deactivating that stasis field. But I also have some tools in my backpack that assist me with that. In this case, a digital assistant. I'm at 92%, which is excellent. And I managed to safely retrieve the item. Stasis, an easy cooker. What is that? A field stove device that can cook various ingredients to form more useful food items. Right-click on the cooker to activate. Recharge device at charging up. That's another item that I never found in the other game. What is going on with it here? Well, this sucks. Anyway, is there anything I can already cook? I can use raw meat to create cooked meat, as you can see. Well, with all items that craft, use some items to get other items. Like for instance the purifier that I use to make safe cheese out of rotten cheese. You get all the recipes listed on the left hand side. Now, the recipes I know, the recipes you find in one game are carried over to the next. So it means with the more you play Sword for Stars the Pit, the more recipes you eventually know, and that actually improves your chances in subsequent playthroughs. That's why it's a good idea to start on easy, collect some of the more useful recipes throughout the game, and then use those recipes in normal mode, the way I'm doing right now. Now, I've never actually made pungent meat. I have no idea what it does. I know that using this, the cooked meat, and Tarkar war bread, I can get a sword switch, which is a pretty excellent food item. But I don't have Tarkar war bread, so I'm thinking that I might just try out the pungent meat recipe and see what the result actually does for me. A piece of meat cooked with delicious aromatics from the scent gland, from the filthy creatures I killed. Oh well, I guess I cooked the thing. Pungent meat has a food value of 60. compared to the food value of cooked meat, which, as you might quickly be able to find out, rates at a delicious 50. So the advantage of making pungent meat is there, but unfortunately pungent meat, as far as I'm aware, cannot be made into sword switches, so I'll try and save my cooked meat for sword switches in the future. Anyway, my pistol is ready. Haha! Thought I didn't see you there, huh? Ha ha! Anyway, my stout hero continues his voyage. There's something here too. This is something I don't get. How do I get the stupid HUD to disappear so I can probably aim at that? I have to... Actually, if something is here, I have to aim in between the gap between the two, and I don't know why they do that. Why they did that. I'm guessing there is a hotkey for hiding the HUD. I just don't know what it is. Anyway, that's something I will be able to find out in a future episode, maybe. If there are future episodes. At the very least, I wanted to start on this one. Not like I'll play until I'm dead or anything. It's what I think I'm gonna do is finish this floor. Oh dear. Well, that was mean. And then call it a day. Anyway, there's another cooker here. But I already used up all my recipes and with using the easy cooker. So that's out. Well, I wanted to play for a bit before I save. Because I don't think I've quite shown you enough yet. Anyway, here I've got an ammo crate, which is actually a pretty exciting moment because ammo is life in this game. And it gave me 30 more pistol rounds, which is a good start. There's a door trap here. Now I'm in a bit of a difficult spot because the door trap might actually kill me. I'm at low HP. What can I do with the low HP? I have med patches. And I have a Terran med kit. The med kit also lowers disease, so I don't want to use it for just HP. So I'll be using the med patch instead. As for the door, I'm gonna have to try and pick it. Well, didn't manage to pick it because that stupid bot actually opened it for me. I'm gonna reward it with a metal infusion. A forced metal infusion of bullets. Or in this case, my trusty robot shank. Shiv? What's a vernacular? I shank someone with my shiv. Is that right? I think that's right. Ow. Oh, now it runs away. Great. Anyway, I don't want to run in a door trap. But luckily, most objects in this game, including doorways, can be damaged. And I actually shouldn't even be using my knife for that. First, let me level. Level might again, because might also increases inventory space. I love myself some inventory space. I'm going to increase foraging, increase biotac, mechanical, computer, pistols, and oops, I managed to land myself in position, but the last thing I can improve is knife, so I guess I'll be able to do that. There's something else I need to shoot first. Anyway, instead of using my knife to damage the door, I'll just punch it. Oh, take that, take that, take that. This is taking a really long time. Wish I was a marine. This all because I don't want to hurt the durability of my knife, and because I definitely don't want to waste bullets damaging the door. Well, is it gone now? I think the trap is still there. Nope, the trap was deactivated. Wonderful. Now, take a look at this symbol. Every door that you find in a compound usually is denoted with the symbol that gives you a hint as to the purpose of the room. This symbol stands for a staff room. In a staff room, usually you find things like beds, and maybe some staff members had stuff in their lockers that you can get. And usually, of course, there will be monsters in there. Staff rooms are not very dangerous, but usually don't get you much. Anyway, I'm not gonna use a lockpick, but I'm gonna try to pick the lock anyway. Mostly because I get XP for successfully doing it. And there's some creatures in here. I'll try and kill the bot from afar. And the Matthew, and now I really have to reload that pistol. Alright. I think that was the last of them. Got myself a scent gland. Maybe I find some better use for it than making crappy meat. Mutant rock rat. Tastes cold metal. Yeah, my knife skill got upgraded. I'm a master knife fighter. Take that! And that! And that! Yeah! All done in the business of not wasting pistol rounds, of which I have a total of 81 left. 6 in the gun, 75 laying around my inventory anyway. I think that was the last of them. Gonna open that locker. I don't have mechanical tools to do it with. And I managed to open it, but it was empty, which just sucks. Whew! My keen engineering senses have spotted a trap. Yep, they've got it all. They've got traps, they got monsters, they got stuff, they got containers, they got treasure chests and everything. I hate the traps, by the way. They suck. And I didn't pay attention, which always has the potential to kill you in RPG. And my precious cheese was destroyed by this trap. Could have been a pistol instead. That should teach me to be more observant next time. Kill the rat with the gun. Reload the gun. Oops, that was a bad time to reload, because it turns out another creature showed up. But this one, well, it's a bat, so maybe I was quiet enough that it couldn't see me. Or its ultrasonic senses were addled by the rabies. The knife got damaged again. Ow. Eat that. Okay. Got some more pieces of bat. No idea what I'm gonna do with them. And a rot pile. Didn't find anything with my forging skills. I found some casing fragments. This trap. Well, I'm not gonna enter that. The room has another entrance. I'll use that. I actually found something in here. It's another locker. Here's the thing. 74% is pretty good. If I use a lockpick, I get a complete 99%. There's always a 1% chance of failure. But I also spend one of my lockpicks and I don't get those back. And I might have to use them for something more important later. On the other hand, that locker might hold something very important. I'll risk my chance without a lockpick. It worked, and I got myself another purifier. I already have one of those. Fuck you. Well, of course, it's no problem. I can carry around 2 of them. Purifiers happen to be one of the rechargeable items in the game. So having 2 means I have 2 that I can recharge. Means I should get double the uses out of them. Fortunately, recharges are also quite limited. And eventually inventory space is gonna get limited, and that's gonna be when I drop the second purifier. I can already tell you that. Anyway, there's a bot I can shoot. And there's something up there. And there's some bats. Another bot to shoot. Now shank it, because I only have 1 shot left in the pistol. Recharge the pistol. And shoot the mutant rat. I think I did pretty well on that bite. Oh, there's something to... What's this? Secure weapons locker. A weapons locker might actually have a weapon in it. That is excellent. I also have a 2% chance of success in opening it. If I add a lockpick, it gets up to 68%. Now, this I might as well forget. But it's a weapons locker, that means there could actually be another weapon in it, and weapons are life in this game. You won't go very far punching everything, I can tell you that. So I'm gonna try and get what's in that locker, and it's rifle rounds and a mine trap. I haven't yet used traps in this game very much, but I can set them myself. And the rifle rounds, well, I guess they'll be useful once I actually find a rifle. Well, I was hoping for the weapon, but that's the kind of game this is. You get lucky or you don't. Shoot the bear. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was self-defense, I know. There's another... This symbol is a storeroom that usually has food. But in this case, there was only one thing in the room, apparently, and it got destroyed. There also was a crate. That one also got destroyed. Not good. It's another staff room, and there... Oh! There are at least 2 useful things in here. But first I have to shoot this thing. Well, that didn't work. Reload the damn thing. I'm gonna knife the Zool infant swarm. You might... If you aren't familiar with the Swords of Stars universe, you might wonder what a Zool is. Now, as I've said before, this game is actually a spin-off of a vastly more complex and by now pretty vastly more complex series of turn-based strategy games. And the Zool are one of the alien races you get to play as, or usually play against, because they also happen to be not exactly the bad guys, but the mindless slave drones of the bad guys, so to speak. They're sort of psionic, sort of like a Zerg, only much furrier. I'm guessing all the Sword of the Stars lore nuts in the audience will now wish to kill me, but I don't have really. I really love Sword of the Stars for its lore, which I think is a great addition. Really complements this kind of game well, because they've actually made an effort to create a living and breathing science fiction world, even if the art is somewhat, well, goofy looking at times. I really love the lore of Sword of the Stars, and yeah, I don't have the time to do it justice in this playthrough. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean out this room, and once I have, I'm gonna save the game and, well, call it a day. And there's a crate and a rock rat, which I'm gonna knife. And in the crate are 2 EMP grenades. Then the rat had a scent gland. EMP grenades, I'm guessing, are useful against mechanical enemies. I haven't used them much before. And more pistol rounds, which is always great. And that is a regular locker with 76%. I'm gonna take that chance. And get myself a digital interpreter, which is excellent for decoding computer data written in ancient, foreign, alien languages. Anyway, I think this might give you a very rough idea of what the early game of Sword of the Stars Pit has looked like. And of course you have maybe an inkling of what this kind of game eventually turns into once the resources start running low, once the food starts running low, once the monsters start getting much more threatening than rock rats and bats and small bots. You're gonna get to see the big bots. You're gonna get... Oh well, there's gonna be loads of stuff. And I'm almost positive that this guy is gonna die before it's over. Well, by definition, because he probably has to die before... Well, you know what I mean. Anyway, until next time in the pit, if there is one, I'm pretty sure there is. There will be. This is Sylphia signing.